seconds to decide. Well, let the music pop, let all the drama flop. It's all green lights, no seconds to decide. My head and it's never ever ending. It was get the paradise, my piece of heaven. Never giving up, that's what I live by. This is my life until I reach the sky. My soul in this music draw won't fall apart. Went down for the shit to the very start. Haters mad cause I'm poppin', and they just patiently waiting. I'm flying hella high like California. I got a sign, gonna to the game, gonna make it mine. So I gotta stay up on my grind. It's no thing I like her, so I can't waste time. Don't got time to worry, so I let them fly. Thinking about how the world can be a sweet place full of lies. Sometimes I wonder why, but whenever I'm in it, wrapped in mine. I ain't got no patience for no dumb shit. Take a blunt to the face, then I say fuck it. For all my loved ones, I ain't afraid to jump in. You want them bangers, homie, got the well, let the music pop, letting all the drama fly. It's all green lights, no seconds to decide. Well, let the music pop, let all the drama fly. It's all green lights, no seconds to decide. Holding me down for the ones that keep me right, keeping my game tight, never gonna stop the fight. I just be vibing, I be feeling nice. I'm just trying to live and have the time of my life. This is so cool, she got me flying high. I call her my sailor moon. She calmed me down when I am doing fine. The music pop, letting all the drama fly. It's all green lights, no seconds to decide. Well, let the music pop, letting all the drama fly. It's all green lights, no seconds to decide. Now, they gotta take my side, never backing down, so just bring it on. Can't miss now, I gotta take my side, never backing down, so just bring it on. No time to pause, leaving all my talents in shot. Yeah, I got the motherfucking key, yeah, I got the game online, letting these lames time, watching them all just fly, blazing and slashing all my arms now left. Yes, now, they gotta take my side, never backing down, so just bring it on. Yes, now, I gotta take my side, never backing down, so just bring it on. How my dollars better move, so zero time to waste is crucial. I'm constantly on the move, no matter what, I have to stay cool. Always put in the work till my final tool. I'ma do what I love to do, and that's how I always do. I'ma chill back, vibe and just groove. Ain't a damn thing I now to change my mood. Can't miss now, they gotta take my side, all his friends. Never in my life I ever had to pretend I don't ever trip, cause it is what it is. Feeling I'm so fly, never connect the sky. That must be this time. Sounds like we're about to have a good night. Living on some minute, got no time for haters. Never care what a other gotta say. I ain't got no time to play. Get in there, so you play it all up in this game till my hell bar just energy hella high. Let my mind drift by, fly like a satellite. Up, we out of sight. Energy hella high. Let my mind drift by, like a satellite. Up, we out of sight. Bang, bang, boogie, head to the sky, just grooving. Feet up, I'm coolin'. Music high, boom, booming. Vibes hella right. From the night to the sunrise, we get outside the box. Like, hey, that's surprise. I ain't got a moment to waste time. I like California, cause I let it shine. Goddamn wombo combos all the time till my very last energy hella high. Let my mind drift by, like a satellite. Up, we out of sight. Energy hella high. Let my mind drift by, like a satellite. Up, we out of sight. Life can be beautifully tough. So no time for fake love. I won't give up. So no time for fake love. Mind blown by the things that I've done. Spit the lyrics that got the whole crowd stunned. My music tells the story, how I'm making to be number one. Got no time to waste the time on fake love. I listen to the words that I spit. What I rap about is how I live. This is my life story and it's not pretend. Take a seat, it's what I recommend. My desire. Call it astronomical. If I'm gone today, just know I live my life how I wanted it to go. Life can be beautifully tough. So no time for fake love. Give up, so no time for fake love. You know what you know about, I'm always on the grind. These haters, they don't wanna see me shine. Fuck being up next, this is my time. I'ma be alright, I'll put up a fight. Probably just a soul, and that's all my soul. I can be a bitch, but that's how she go. Tryna live stress-free, that's my main goal. Gonna stack up my chips so I can never fall. Living for the day, there's no promise tomorrow. No time for the sorrow. Fuck the ones who are deserted. This life has its gifts and its curses. Can we beautifully tell?
What up, motherfuckers? Nobody else with Tweezy Boys outside. It's more fucking Palworld, dude. Guess what? By myself this time. So hope everybody's having a great day, great night, whenever the fuck you're watching this. Welcome back to Palworld, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm fucking excited, dude. So this guy. Okay, so we left off. MrsMaaam made a base. We caught MrsMaaam and a couple goat dudes. MrsMaaam caught a lucky thing, a lucky Doofenshmirtz dude. I'm gonna call him Doofenshmirtz. Cause he do be kind of looking like a doofus. So, MrsMaaam is always hungry. I feel like I need to find a better dude. Also, yeah, we're just gonna dive straight into it. I'm not even gonna do podcast time. Fuck that. Maybe I'm waiting for my fucking computer to do its thing. Normally, it likes to do this thing where it's just like, poof, restart. So I don't know what to do here. But either way, welcome back to Palworld, everybody. Welcome back to our fucking base here. So, okay. What do we need? Okay, we gotta do stuff. Pal management, make a metal chest and a sphere workbench. We need wood, palladium fragments, and ingots. Okay, you guys got 44. Sure, put that in here and make those. Max, guess only 9. This dude's coming over here to fucking do this. Hell yeah. Okay, so I got some stat points. I got 3. We'll upgrade our attack because that's the lowest, and then wait, because those are the things I'm always struggling with. I do need a better glider, that's for sure. But I am thinking about going back to start, because I can make a bunch of these. Oh, never mind, I can only make 10. 10's better than none, that's for sure. Because I want to go back to start, because I'm sure there's some things that I missed. When we play with MrsMaaam at some point, I want to take her back to the beginning as well. Because she basically missed out on the whole beginning of this. So I want to take her back to the beginning. So she can capture the dudes, get the upgrades. There's definitely some things that I probably missed dungeon-wise. Probably a couple of, like, berries and whatnot. I'm level 29 now, so I feel like I'll be able to do some pretty decent amount of damage to the mammoth. Okay, does this sort all of them? Okay, isn't there... Okay, wait, hold on. Did I put them in, or did I take them out? Okay, chest settings. I can lock them? Okay, I thought there was a way to check all setting, or check all of the things. What's my inventory looking like? I got an egg in there. I don't really need to hold on to an egg. I can't build that yet. Key's always good. Ingot I don't need. That can stay here. Always need more pal spheres. You are... I'm not sure what you're at. What was I doing? Pal spheres. Sure, fuck it. 4 more. Okay, so yeah. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Why is this dude locked? He's locked. Why is he locked? Oh, he's a favorite. You are a favorite, that's for sure. A level 3 favorite. He's a runner. 20% increased movement speed. Okay, while in party, increases the capture rate when awarded a back bonus. Oh, when you give it back shots. You restore. You... These are all level 1. I like you because you have the fire aspect. Whoops. What else we got? What else we got here? You are good at grazing. You have 1 in grazing, and that's basically all you do. So we'll put you in grazing. Fixed assignments. Ranch. You. And then... Chicken boy. Yeah, sure. Whatever. That's fine. You're just assigned there. The little dude does give me wool. Wool is good. Wool is great, but also food is even better. Okay. Alright, we're gonna fast travel back to the beginning. And we're gonna see what we can do. Fast travel. The beginning is the Hill of Beginnings. That's where we're gonna go. And then maybe we'll venture off a different way. Maybe. Okay, my phone is at fucking 5%. I don't think I have a charger down here. Okay, hold on. Uno momento. I gotta find a charger. Chillin' in my bedroom. Nope, can't do that. Oh, it's a fucking long ass cord. What's going on here? Fucking paranoid now. I'm always worried about the stupid thing. Wanted to restart. Oh, dudes, you know what? So, the Amazing Digital Circus had their fucking movie back on the 7th, right? I think a couple days ago, like yesterday maybe, I finally got my Amazing Digital Circus fucking... What is this? Successful bounty token. A token of having defeated a bounty. Give it to the vigilante bounty officer in villages or town to be exchanged for a reward. I like rewards. Okay, but I gotta eat. You got anything to say? Can I kidnap you? I don't know what happens if I try to kidnap you. I'm not sure.
What?
Okay, but you're all chilling. You're all level 5. Should I try to capture you just to see what happens? You're level 5. Yeah, okay. Cheeky bastard. Oh. Oh, you're not gonna fight me? Critical. +4. Okay. Okay, now they're okay. Okay, we're done. I don't exactly need my cheeks clapped right now. No thanks. Need berries. Need berries for sure, for sure. But yeah, we're looking for luckies and we're looking for dungeons. Because I want to fight dungeons. I want to get the alpha Pokemon that are in there. My controller batteries are low. Are you charging me? Do we even have more batteries? I'm not even entirely sure. That I do not know, but that chest is there again. That's cool. You're level 26. You're level 17. You can come out. Nice. Hey, I'll take the Pal Sphere. Fuck yeah. You can be set to aggressive. Put you away. Put you back out. Fight everything. Kill them all. You guys are definitely... Oh, you guys are level 5. Oh shit, I thought for sure you weren't. I'll take it. Oh yeah. You guys are only level 1, but XP is XP. Elephants? Elephants. What are you? You are not level 5. Okay, well, I don't need you anymore. Thank you. Oh, I just realized, since you're killing everything, you're probably giving me a lot of stuff, actually. Like wools and whatnot. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna go to dungeons, I don't exactly need to be filling my inventory up with that shit. But food though. Venom gland, I'll take that. I love that it's just fighting everything. Couple of arrows, hell yeah. Take it. Take it and dig it. Take it and dig it. Also, the other day when we were playing with MrsMaaam, I saw one of the dudes. They had like red eyes. So is that like an evil alpha or something? Is it evil alpha or is it like I guess I don't know. I guess I have no idea. Could just be alpha, I guess, maybe.
What?
I don't like that you're red. Oh, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. What about you, goat? Tree of Life. There's a dungeon down there. That's where we're going. That's where we're headed. Nice. All right, goat. Ow. Nice. I need 2 more. Two more and then I complete the Pokedex for this thing. Why does this thing taste burnt? I just got this thing. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for your fucking lungs and shit. Bad for all of you. Every bit of you. It's bad. Don't do it. There's a tree. There's an egg. And there's a fast travel down there. But there was also a dungeon right there, I think. Ooh, whoa. I'm so glad that you could just whip. Like, you could just fucking turn super fast. Okay, water fruit. Electric fruit. Fire fruit, water fruit. Okay, fire fruit. Use on you? What? Wait, what? Can use to to teach Ignis Bliss. Or Ignis Blast, my bad. Hydrojet. And Spark Blast. You know, straight dark moves. Might as well switch one of them up. Maybe? Nah, you're fine. Fuck it, we'll just store it.
What?
Or sell it.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, this one will complete it. This one right here will complete it. Stay. Stay. You complete my decks. You complete my decks. You need to stop. Halt in the name of me. Nice. I need Pengu. Oh, okay. Fuck said otherwise. That's fine. We'll find another one. Alright. We also need more, what's it called? Fucking, what are they, tokens for bosses? I don't know what they do, but I know this little guy, my little buddy here, will give me a token. And I won't mind having 2 of you. I'm not even sure what your abilities are, even. Back shot, boys. Alright! Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, yeah! Nice! Got him, second ball.
What?
Wait, I can't remember. Were you done? Can't remember if you were done or not. Are you done? You're not. Okay, I want Vixie. That little Vixie dude gives me pal spheres and shit.
Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Get over here, Vixie. If I could fucking aim. Got one of them.
Yeah.
Stupid rock.
Yeah.
My inventory full? Nice. My inventory's full. Ice, Oregon. Okay, maybe we cook real quick. You help me cook, right? You don't? Alright, well, that's fine. Not too worried about it. Those, cook those. Takes 1. I'm fucking hot, apparently. Insufficient heat resistance. I was told I need to go to the Ash biome, I think it was. If I go to the Ash biome, there's a medallion that gives heat, cold, and something resistance. Ugh, I'm impatient. I'm good. Okay. Give me back my berries. Did I pick them up? I don't think I picked them up. Drop. Training manual. Gives XP to you. Okay, I got my berries back. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go over to the dungeon. I'm not carrying a lot of things, so it's not like I'm weighed down. It's just I have a lot of things.
What? Wow.
Alright, 2 more Vixies. Oh, that's a dungeon right there. That's where we're going. Fuck yeah. Level 13 dungeon. Let's go. Catch some humans. And we need those mushrooms. We need the mushrooms for herbal stuffs. My inventory's full. God damn it. Aquatic pal fluids. Nom. Should have dropped off some more of this kind of bullshit. Precious pelt can be sold at a high price. Ancient civilization parts. Drop these. Drop. Well, actually, hold on to that. Wait, use. Sure, you can eat it. I don't need these. I'll keep the wheat seeds so I can make more of those. Icicle cutter, dragon burst, dragon slam. You already know. Wait. You don't know the thing. Wait. Did it know it additionally? If so, I love that. Alright, mushrooms. Alright, dungeon, what you got for me? Oh, fuck yes? Yeah. A big ass thing. Always need these. Will not be mad about that. Is that just straight ore? That's stone. That gives me stone. I don't need more stone. Good thing I went up here. Palsphere. Thingy. Nails and arrows. It's a weird thing to get. But, not mad about it. I like free stuff. You're set to defensive. Oh shit. I meant to cancel. Oopsies.
What?
What do you have? Course ammo. Oh, I have that. I'm already holding on to it.
Yeah.
There's Uppus? Whoa, whoa, whoa. This place has got like fucking... Whoa. Hello? What? Trapdoor! Oh, I fell for that. I fell for that. I can't believe I've done this. What the fuck was that, though? Long lost secrets of technology, forgotten area used to obtain technology points. Thanks. Ah, it drops a rock. Gotcha. That's cool. This is a chest? You can't open chests? No? Can I set it on fire? No? The fuck is that up there? There's something up there. Alright, I can wait 90 seconds. That's fine. I'm somewhat of a patient guy. Somewhat. Lotus. More Palspheres. There's Palspheres chilling right here. Can I have these? Why not? They're just chilling there. Cool. This is fucking awesome.
Oh. Yeah.
Hey, don't touch my fox. The fuck?
Yeah.
Nice. That's two dudes. Nice. I wonder what would happen if you set them to grazing. Life Lotus. Oh, it's used to make remedies. Stamina remedies. Gotcha. Oh, that's cool. I didn't bring a fishing rod. This is fucking sick. This kind of reminds me of, the one episode, was it, what was it? I think it was Futurama? It was that Futurama episode where they went into the sewers and then like they teased, or like there was like a, what was it? It was a mutated fish and a mutated like serpent, water serpent, and it like looked exactly like Magikarp and Gyarados.
What? Yeah. Oh.
This is awesome. Wasn't expecting to find all these. This is fucking cool. It's a little fucking, it's like a town. Or it reminds me of kind of like Gat Out of Hell, because all of the townsfolk is basically, it's hell. So all of their houses are like run down and look like shit. Especially when you get to the outskirts of town.
What? Yeah.
Oops. Okay, question though. What do I do with the PAL souls? Like, I know these are souls, but like, what do you do with them? Do you give them to your dudes? Suppose I can look in a second. But... man, I'm curious. A dog coin? What? They're just on the floor?
What?
I love that you can just be Spider-Man and just fucking travel through everywhere. Alright, handgun ammo. What don't I need? Fiber is pretty easy to find. Handgun ammo just makes it so I don't have to fucking craft it later. That's what I say. Finding a lot of arrows. I'm loving that. Okay, is there a, like, a forward? I came from over here. If this is the end, I might make my way back, because I think there was another way that I could have gone.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything out here, but yeah, this kind of looks like an end point. You can hear the whistles, like the cave whistles. It's like a whoosh. Lotus flower. I don't know what this does. Okay, but I might have to make my way back to base, actually. Just so I can draw some shit off. Like my nails and shit. Okay, yeah, this looks like an end, but I think I'm just gonna keep moving the bow. Are you MrsMaaam? Okay, you might actually be crucial to the base. Okay, can we sneak? You're hungry right now? Apparently I am too. Hi.
Oh.
Fight it. Set it on fire.
Yeah.
Cheeky bastard. Almost got it. Got him. MrsMaaam. Greed cannot be pacified. It rages on like an inferno. Phrase, step on a dinosaur tail and it's enraged. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go bring you back to base. See what you do.
What?
Bunch of chesticles. Love chesticles. Oh, the speed remedy and the advanced technical manual. What the fuck is that? Precious dragonstone. It does look pretty precious. Recovery meds? Is that used for when they, like, die? I only have one bullet. Just fucking drop the one bullet. Discard it. Get out of here. This is pretty easy to come by. Discard. And then it was... Where'd it go? This one? Technology points? When used on pals, extremely valuable potion that permanently raises the work speed by a slight amount when consumed. Ooh, that might be good to give to MrsMaaam, actually. Because MrsMaaam likes to slack off. Oh, and a couple of Vixies. Nice. Hello. Hello. A couple of deers.
Wah. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Take that, nerd. I was gonna say, if you break out of that... No, fuck it. Oh, I was gonna say... Ain't no way you're breaking out of that. Oh?
Yeah.
Need a flame organ. I do need those. Flame organ. No, not the bones. Oh, shit, you murked them all dead. Where'd he go? What are you? You look like a Roselia Bellossom. Cool. I'm curious as to what you do. My inventory's full. Beautiful flowers. Oh, damn, dude. I need more inventory space. I need more inventory. Is there a way to get more inventory space? Offer to the pal statue. I think I have one. Okay, what don't I need? Leather's pretty useful. Horns are pretty useful. Fucking egg. I need to build an incubator. Precious dragons. I feel like I need all of this. Nobody's dead. So I want to bring that back to base. Handgun ammo. Course ammo. Makeshift handgun. Fuck, dude. Makes them a handy material. Wool. Leather. Sure. Tomato seed. Tomato seeds are pretty useful. Wait, what does this do? Will open its heart to humans. Sure. Tomato seeds and a beautiful flower. I got a couple of beautiful flowers. Alright, fuck a wheat seed. Beautiful flower. Okay, yeah, we need to go back to base. What is this? Is this cooking? Can I cook? No? Okay. Alright. That's a thing. We need to go back to base. I'm pretty sure this is fast travel over here. No, don't hit it! Oh! Got a ball straight to the face. Berry seeds, don't need those. More berry seeds, need to catch one more. One more. Can you give me one more? One more little clover guy?
What?
Okay, what fast travel is this? Okay, it's not gonna tell me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nice. Got him right in the bunions. Whoops.
Yeah.
Alright, I just need one of those guys. Yeah. Stay in the ball or my fox will kill you. 3 more of the herbs.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I suggest you stay. Okay, cool. You're fine. The rest of you can fuck off. I don't care. Alright, that herbal's dead. Okay, cool. Pangoos. Some palaspheres over there. Pengu.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Ow. Ow. You wanna fucking go right now? Ow. Ow. I suggest you put an end to what you are doing, pig. Or Pengu. Not pig. You're not a pig. Go. That's all for Pengus.
What?
I'm gonna have so many things to level up. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, fast travel. Back to base. I got shit I gotta get rid of. And I want to put a Vixie. Oh, wait. There's herbs. I need one more of you. Stomp, 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 stomp. It's kind of funny that this is the base area of the other place. What?
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
I suggest you stay. Thanks. What? I still need one more. Okay, you get back here. Get back here with your fuzzy ass. You need to get back here so I can fast travel back to home. You nerd burger.
Yeah.
With cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
What?
I don't have you obtained yet. Well, I have you obtained, but you're not level 5 yet. Okay, I just need a few more of you. There's an egg there. Inventory's full, probably. I haven't seen a mammoth yet. Did you guys need something? Special delish for a settlement nearby. Counting on you, just make sure the pals don't eat it on the way. Special dish. Okay, well, I don't have room in my inventory. I'm getting rid of it. Yes, special dish. Okay, yep, I'll do it eventually. Probably not now, though. That sounded like a tepig. Okay, there's a bunch of little wolfy dudes over there, but I'm not... Hi?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Dude. Alright, back to base. Oh, pals. I'm coming home. I caught peoples, so you can abuse them if you'd like. Oh, they're all sleeping. Enhanced player stats. Capture power, movement speed. Movement speed would be awesome, but the capture power definitely needs to go up. Oh. Well, I guess just fucking use it all up, I guess. Cool. Moving now. Why was Incineram just there? Hello? Okay. That's definitely not weird or anything. Okay. Hold on. Wait, there's you. Whoops.
Yeah.
You didn't see that. You didn't see that.
Yeah.
Ow. Oh, my whole squad decided to pull up on this guy. They all woke up and chose violence. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for having my back. You guys are awesome. Jesus Christ. I just turned around, my whole fucking team is just ready to make them all eat shit. Alright, turn all these into things. Wait, what the fuck? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Oh, you're not gonna be there for a while. Oh, damn, look at all them stones. Look at all them stones. I'm not sure what the fuck I need all the stones for, but I probably need them for something important.
What?
Why is Incineram just running around? Max health. You. Probably you. You. Still, wait, what? What? What do you mean? I still got 2. Oh, I get it. Gotcha. Well, I mean, you don't really do any work. Yeah, you don't really do any work. So you can up your defense. You definitely could use defense ups because... Whoops, nope. Because you are basically just my health source. That's all you are. Can you stop igniting that? Can I pick you up? How do I pick you up? Ignite this over here. The food. Thank you. Okay. Metal chest. Okay, I need more chests. Can I build metal chests yet? Probably need this one, right? No, but I can build boards. I needed boards for something. I can make a handgun. I can make a handgun with just 6 more ingots? Well, that's a grappling gun. With 2 more ingots, I can make a fishing rod. With my little dude. Couple more leaves, pelt armor. Its warmth and defense has been improved. Gunpowder, bone and cloth. Okay, I think the mega shield is definitely more... A visitor has arrived at the base. Oh, a PAL recruiter? Whoa. You don't want to pick a fight here, bro. You don't want to pick a fight here, bro. You don't want to pick a fight here, bro. Is the dude dead? Okay. Wait, why do we have a visitor here? Okay, wait. Hold on. Okay, put your gun away. Let's talk. Let's talk about this. Hello? Thanks. I got a lineup of pals eager to work under a pal tamer. There's a recruitment fee, of course. Care to take a look? Sure. For how much? For 66? That's basically nothing, and I have... I mean, it now seeks a quiet life. Sure, I guess. Are you just gonna do stuff? Is that all you came here for? Okay, well, I don't need more of you. Can I capture you?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, I've been spotted. Maybe we should just leave. If I just leave their sight, will they all just go away? They're kind of level 40. Or are they just gonna keep fighting? Oh, that one rifleman is down, almost down. Okay, we're fine. Everyone's fucking hungry now. Okay, that was a bad idea. We're never gonna do that again. Right. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? You said you were doing something. What are you doing? Okay, well, have you back out, because you're stone pit. Okay, you need to make more ingots, need more ore. Okay, you do this. Can you make ore? Oh, you were down. Oh, you died of death. Oh, shit. Okay, well, now I learned my lesson not to do that. Also.
What?
Also. We captured this one. Pacifist. You are good at... You have 3 in mining? Oh, you also have 3 in mining. What was the other dude? This one. Stronghold, not you. You have 3 in grass. You have 2. 2 in grass and grazing. You have grass and logging. And you lay eggs at the ranch. You... Damn, you're pretty much good at a lot of things. Okay, you're pretty good. You have 1 in mining and logging. You also have 1 in mining. Okay, I need someone with like 2 or 3... Wait, yeah. Yeah, because I only have you mining. Oh, I have another one of you. Okay, wait. You have 3 in mining. Yeah, you have 3 in mining. Okay. And then over here. You. I'm hungry. Waiting to water. Okay, this is done. Cool. Okay, cannot make ores with this. I need all of the stones. Wait, why are you also... Take her to the PAL box or just wait 5 minutes. Okay. So there's no way to make ore. You just gotta mine it. Only 3 ingots? Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna start cooking? Nice. What did I need out of here? Oh, I can make a grappling gun. There's pelt armor. Its warmth and defensive has been improved. See, the warmth isn't really a problem. Mega shield. Do I want the mega shield or the beginning fishing rod? Probably the fishing rod, actually. The shield's nice, but I can get a lot more from the fishing rod, including pals. Okay. And then with this... recovery speed plus 40. We need cloth and wood boards. Thank you. Thank you for the assistance. I can only build one. What do you mean I can only build one? Oh, I got regular wood. Need more wood. How much wood we got here? Who's logging? Is anyone logging? Oh, you're logging, but you're dead. What was I building here? I forgot what I was building. This. No. This. I need more bones and yes, grazing. Okay, fuck the chicken. I need a Vixie. Motivational leader, bottomless stomach, always hungry. Impatient, night owl. I'm assigned a ranch. We're gonna put you there. And then you will only... Nope. This one. And then ranch, you. You will only graze. What are you doing? Current task idle. What are you doing? You're adorable, but what are you doing? You should be doing something. Oh, you don't do anything. Okay, then log. Log. Thanks. That's not logging. That is mining. Okay, it's not the brightest. What was I doing again? I already forgot. Wood. I was building a metal chest. I was building more storage so I could put stuff away to go explore more dungeons. Not doing the thing that I said I was gonna go do. Bones. Can't do anything. I need more bones. I need more chests. Storage. Don't have enough wood. Put the ammo there. Sure, put the leather there. These things. Strange juice. Oh, this one doesn't have anything in it. Cool. Nope, I need that. Give me that. Farmer's special dish. That can stay. That can stay. This I need. These types of items can be placed in the chest. Okay. What do we all got in here? Bunch of leather, some arrows. Okay, inventory is more cleared up now. Okay, we're gonna fast travel. On a short break, you're not doing anything. I told you to fucking log. Oh, you're resting. Need more pal spheres. You're waiting to craft. Then let's fucking craft. Let's get to work. Coolio. Coolio. 8:17. Okay, gotta get like 40-ish minutes. I'm really glad that Palworld is like popular again. But I'm also glad that they like won the lawsuit. But like I've always wanted to play like Palworld, but like I've also wanted to play it with other people, but now I have like an excuse to do it. Like I can play with MrsMaaam. I can play with the homies. MrsMaaam and I share this world. And then the HomieBabes and I share another world. Like, I like being able to see the way that me and MrsMaaam play. Like, we found a little campsite, and MrsMaaam likes camping. She built a whole house. And then the HomieBabes and I, we did like quick and efficient. Like, it's very efficient, it's next to a dungeon, it's next to a fast travel, and we just repeatedly go to that dungeon and just keep, like, grinding it out. But I feel like that the base will have a good, like, it's a good spot there. For now. I feel like eventually we might move. Okay, I still need wood and a bunch of fragments. Okay, I'm gonna put all these dudes. Okay, I need to assign somebody. Somebody's gotta get off of that. Who's water? Who's water? You're water, you're water. Okay, you can stop grazing for now. This one? The Crusher. You. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, fast travel. There's a ice foxicle there. Fuck it, let's go here. Let's go catch this guy. Oh, ice foxicle. It's like an Alolan Ninetales.
What?
Oh yeah, I need to catch an electric dude. Okay, yeet this. Why can't I cast? Oh, got it. Got it. Pengu. That's a jellyfish. Oh, hey. I don't have you. The power of Gaia? Can I not use bait? Or do I have to use bait every time I cast? Oh, this one's fighting. Pengu. Okay, we're gonna move on from this spot. Horns. Need those.
What?
Hello? A researcher? Hello. A wild flock? Oh, how long to observe one in the flesh? Give a fuck? I might have found one? I don't have one on me, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't. Nope, not you. You. Fuck him up.